not listening, not anymore. The more I learn, the more I know. I'm not listening, not anymore. The more I care, the more I know. I'm not listening, not anymore. No, 'cause you gotta be bigger.
What's up, guys? It's Michael. This is Kyle. We were AKM Tactical. Appreciate y'all watching. We got some good little old goodies laid out here on the table, but really what we want to talk about today is the single stack guns and carrying them, you know, that kind of stuff. Mainly what we want to talk about is the M&P Shield. So this is Kyle's gun, so I'm going to let him take it. Go ahead, man. What you got to say about it?
Hey guys, you know, in the last video that we did, the Big Guy EDC Part 3, it was my EDC, except the gun that I carry about half the time was not featured in that video because it wasn't on hand. So I felt like I really, in order to represent my EDC, I needed to bring the shield. This is my 19, and this is my shield. This is Michael's 19, just for kicks and giggles. Notice it looks a lot like mine because he's the one that did all the custom stipple work on it. I didn't give him that shout out. I watched the video. Michael's the one that did my sights and the stipple work. So I don't think he's quite ready for y'all to be sending him guns and all that mess and charging for it. But he did it for free, and I was super pleased with it. I've been running it, and I couldn't be happier. But yeah, Michael did that. So anyways, back to the shoot. I was telling y'all that this gun shoots like a full-size gun, and I am going to say it again. There's not a whole lot of recoil difference between this gun and this gun. Okay, it is a comfortable gun to carry. It is 0.95 inches wide, where the 19 is 1.18 inches wide, and that's from I haven't used calipers to measure them, but that's from Smith & Wesson's and Glock's website. I said I carry this gun about half the time, and I find that to be true because I have two other guns that I carry, so I probably carry this gun more than I do the other two individually. If that makes sense. Carry this one half the time. Probably this one. Yeah, I jumped.
We ain't gonna edit that out either. Y'all can get all
I was
that.
about to hot that bird.
All them goodies.
But anyways, I probably carry this one probably 40% of the time. And I guess my 27, it kind of falls by the wayside. I probably carry it 10% of the time. But anyway, so we live in Louisiana, so it's hot. It's getting hotter. This morning it was 40 degrees. Now it's I'm burning up out here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hot.
So
Warm today.
Warm out today. Sorry, but it's warm, and that's where this gun comes into play because it's comfortable to carry, and there's the comfortability factor, and we're swatting mosquitoes because we live in Louisiana. The comfortability factor comes from the width. Okay, this right here. Dangerous, take it for y'all. This right here is the width, okay, versus this width.
It's not your phone, that's his.
Yeah, it's mine. It's going off. But this is what we're talking about with width. 1.18, 0.95, okay?
Here, I'll get in here close where y'all can really see. Check that out.
Yeah. Now that's where it's comfortable. Now show them the grips. Show them the grips, okay? Let's turn to the side so they can see the length of the grips. Alright, you see that right there? Doesn't look like a whole lot of difference, does it? But it is. It is a big difference when you go to conceal these guns, okay?
Absolutely.
Alright, we're talking about comfortability and concealability, okay? The shield wins on both of those. Because it is more comfortable than this one, obviously. And it is more concealable. Only if you're running the flush mags, okay? This flush mag, a 7-rounder, so now you have 7 plus 1 because y'all better be freaking carrying around in the chamber. If you ain't carrying, around in the chamber, then I don't know why you're even watching this channel.
I don't know why you even carry a gun.
That's right, because you might as well pick up a brick and put it in your pocket instead of carrying a gun. Because what you've essentially done is you have neutered this gun, and you might as well just take it out of your holster and just throw it at somebody. Because it's no good to you without a round in the chamber.
Unless you're Israeli.
Yeah. That's how they get. But they got like a method.
They got like this thing. Oh, it's crazy. Anyhow, they come up to like their chin right here.
And nobody kills more terrorists than Israelis do, so maybe they got
Maybe they
something.
know something.
But they don't work for us.
No work for
We're not
no
Israeli.
works. No works.
Yeah. My hair is not curly. That was a cheap fro joke. Just kidding.
So I mean, yeah, comfort, concealability, it wins.
And another thing I want to talk about is I carry with my shield. Okay, I carry the flush mag, which is 7+1. Okay, then I carry on either side of the body. I carry 2 8-round magazines. Okay, these are the shield extended magazines. Now, from the factory, these come with a removable sleeve. You will notice that I do not have a sleeve on these. Okay, if you get it, doesn't matter if it's a shield or any gun that's got an extended sleeve, okay, extended grip, and you do one of two things, okay? You either need to take it off, like I did, or you need to put some super glue down here. Damn, mosquitoes.
Crazy, man.
Eating us alive. But you need to put some super glue around this base and put the sleeve on and keep it in place, because what can happen is you go to load your gun, right? And you try to seat it home, but because maybe that sleeve has slid up on the magazine, now you think your magazine's home, but it's not. Okay, and that is a problem. Okay, so do one of those two things: either super glue it on or take it off. I find no advantage in putting a sleeve on this gun.
Also helps with the double feed. Yep. Sorry, guys. Also helps with the double feed because you don't have that sleeve on there, so you got something you can grab a hold of too.
That's right. And I had 2 double feeds today on the range.
Yeah.
So it was, and only one of them was with the extended mag, but I sure enough ripped it out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But what I do see sometimes is people will carry a gun. It will carry this shield with the extended mag on it. And if you're going to do that, you have essentially bumped up as far as the footprint is concerned. And when I say footprint, I mean like your ability to conceal or your printing. You might as well carry a 19, because it is the same length, maybe even a little bit longer with this extended mag.
Yep.
So you have turned the tables on concealability to the 19. Now, so where does the shield fit in? What's its role in my EDC? I carry it when it's hot, when I'm wearing a t-shirt. I carry it sometimes if I'm dressing up. If I've got to wear like a nicer shirt or something, and maybe pants that fit a little better, I'll wear this gun because it's more comfortable. I've got some cargo shorts. I'm not huge on cargo shorts because, like I said, I like to blend in. I do have a pair, but they're not big and baggy cargo shorts. I don't dress like that. I'm wearing khaki shorts today to the range because this is what I wear. I actually, I walked up in my EDC because I carry every day I'm not at work. We talked about that. Carry as much as possible. So I walked up and I had my flashlight, my knife, 2 mags, a mag, one in a holder. I had my wallet. I had my keys. And when I practiced on the range, I practiced just like that. I kept everything on me. I used my knife a couple of times, cutting up some targets, doing that kind of thing. I didn't use my flashlight, obviously, because it's, daylight. We talked about doing a night shoot, though.
Yeah, we're going to do a night shoot.
Yeah,
we just
really need
got
to
get
do
it
a night
together
shoot.
when we're going to do it. But we are going to do a night shoot.
But that's where this comes in. It comes in a lot because, like I said in my previous video, I don't like to dress around a gun. I like to blend in. And that's we've talked about the pros about this. It shoots like a full-size gun, in our opinion. Don't believe us? Go shoot. Go try them. The best thing you can do before you buy a gun is to shoot it, and shoot it with other guns. That's how I've always done it. Luckily, I have friends and my brother that's into guns. I have a lot of experience with single stacks. I had a PF9. I got rid of the PF9. I bought this shield. I bought my girlfriend a 43 that we shoot. My brother has an XDS. So I've got a good bit of experience with it, and I feel like I've shot a Walther as well. They're single stack, the PPS. But I've got a lot of experience with single stacks, and it would be for me, and this is just me. It would be a toss up between this and the 43. Now the advantage this one has over the 43 is you get another round. The disadvantage is it's a little bigger.
Yeah.
They shoot about the same. You're not gonna if you shoot Glocks 9mm all the time. You're not gonna shoot this, all day at the range and then move to this and be like, oh man,
Yep.
no, this is a range gun. You could shoot this at the range all day, every day.
Yep.
Not gonna notice the difference. Now let's talk about some cons, okay? And the main reason we have these 219s at the table is to talk about the cons, because this right here is a huge advantage over this. And what's your 17 rounder? And this right here is an advantage over this, okay? So this is what you're going to carry flush, right? This is what you're going to carry as your backup, right? I've got 8 rounds. Got 17 rounds in the backup. I've got 8 rounds here because it's 7 plus 1, and I've got 16 over here because it's 15 plus 1. That is why, if you can get away with carrying a 19, I'd recommend doing it. Can't always do that, but when you can, I would recommend carrying large if possible.
But this is where it's so funny, because in the gun culture, there's so many differences of opinion. Because while I do see the niche for this single stack gun in the world that I live in, it doesn't really. I can do the same thing with a Glock 26 that I can do with a Shield. And with a Glock 26, I can carry 10 plus 1 plus a 17 round backup mag. So it's different strokes for different folks. I see where this comes into play, and I see where it has its niche and its advantage in the world. But for me, when I need to really conceal something, when it's hot, when I have a t-shirt on, when I'm trying to just be, as incognito as I can be,
Right.
I carry the 26.
And my brother feels the same way. The one that was pulling up, we never put him on camera, but he was pulling up to shoot with us. He got rid of his XDS and actually gave it to my other, I've got 2 brothers, gave it to him. And that's actually where my PF9 went as well. Because when I would shoot the PF9, my support hand would ride that mag release, and it would turn into a single shot because I unseat that mag. He's a lefty, so he didn't have that problem. But he's had trouble with the PF9 running steel case ammo.
Nothing fancy is the only person I've ever seen in the world run a PF9 and love it, and everything just works great with it.
Yeah, but he also shoots that mug like a freaking badass. Yeah, he's taking headshots at 25 yards with PF9, shooting a hostage target fast.
Yeah,
but yeah, that's ridiculous. But yeah, my brother will agree with him because he carries a 27 and a 19 exclusively, and he did just pick up a car 380, which that's got a 300 or 500 round break-in period, which he hasn't done yet, so he hasn't carried it. But and that serves a different role as well. But for me, like I said, how do you feel about dressing around your gun? I tend to wear, I definitely don't wear skinny jeans, but I don't like wearing baggy clothes, big baggy clothes. I don't wear cargo shorts. I do have a pair of cargo shorts, but they're more, they're not big and baggy. I do wear those a good bit because it makes sense for an EDC. But like I said, I like to dress how I want to dress. So this is probably where that comes into play, and that's a big factor on comfortability. Now, since we're talking about cons, let's talk about there's being comfortable carrying a gun because of the way it feels, and then there's being comfortable carrying a gun because of the way it makes you feel.
Yep. Okay?
This one is not always comfortable to carry, okay? It's not bad. It's really not. I don't mind carrying it. I carry it a lot.
But it's comforting.
Comforting, exactly. There was a situation a few months back where a lady got shot and stabbed almost to death. She lived, amazingly, pretty close by.
Yeah, like 30 minutes from us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And only
right up the road.
And only 5 minutes from our place of work.
Yeah.
And it was 2 attackers. Now, you may not think about that when you go put on a gun. You may think, I don't know what you think. I think if you're the type of person that most people are. You probably think best case scenario.
Yeah.
You know, you think you're going to pull that gun, and if you have to, you know, on the worst day of your life, you'll have to pull that gun, and you'll shoot them 3 times, and they'll go down. And that's just not true. That's not how it works in the real world. Even at the range, I mean, we practice scenarios. We usually take 3 shots. We do 2 to the chest, 1 to the head. And hopefully in a real world scenario that would work. But like the drill we ran today and that we run pretty much every day. There's a series of drills that we run all the time. We run 200 rounds every other week. And we start off our first 50 with dot torture. Maybe we'll do a video on that.
Yeah, we need to do a video.
If we can
on
ever
dot
shoot
torture.
one clean.
Yeah. Got to look good on camera.
That's right. And then we go on to, then we do some scenario drills. We try to do stuff that is practical, that makes sense in the real world. And one of them is we have 3 IPSC, I'm saying that right? IPSC targets of 1, 2, and 3, okay? And we're in tight, okay? And what it is, a scenario that's multiple attackers. And, you know, we give a command or we make a decision to fight, okay? And then we draw, and the first person in front of us, that person, once we've drawn, if you're going to draw your gun, you need to go ahead. You should have already made up your mind that you're going to take that person's life. You should be okay with that at that point. So in the scenario, we draw
as long as they're intent on taking yours.
Oh yeah, that's right. If you're fearing for your life, yeah.
Yeah.
But at that point, legalities they've passed all your checks. You went from green to yellow to red. Okay. But in that scenario, we triple tap the first one, and then we're shouting commands at the other 2. Or there's sometimes where we just do all 3. Now, if I'm going to triple tap every one of them with a gun that carries 7 in the mag and 1 in the chamber, how many is that? That's 9 rounds, but I've only got 8 available. So that means I'm going to have to do a reload in there. And that's something that it really stood out to me whenever we were shooting, because first of all, I mean, I wouldn't even think that it's completely realistic to think that you're going to stop 3 attackers with 8 rounds. I mean, we take headshots a lot. We practice a lot of headshots, and that's because the only way to stop an attacker, you know, where he stands, is you're not you can blow up somebody's aorta, the main artery coming off of the heart that feeds the rest of the body,
and they can still come.
And they're gonna come for 10. They got about 10 seconds a life in them before they lose enough blood flow to their brain where they pass out. If you're going to stop them dead in their tracks, you're going to have to hit central nervous system.
It's lights out.
Yeah,
On the way.
got to go lights out. So that's why we practice with a lot of headshots. A lot of people are going to disagree with that. They say take center mass shots.
Yeah.
But you got to think, if you've got multiple attackers, the first one you better put him or her down quickly. They've got to go down because you got other stuff to deal with.
And you got to think. You got to look at distance too. You know, when you're running that scenario,
we're tight.
You're talking about bad breath distances.
Yeah.
You're talking about from
3 yards.
from me to the camera or closer.
3 yards or closer.
So a headshot at that distance is not something.
Yeah, it's not hard to do. No.
It's not something that you can sit here and think that you can't do. You're right there on top of each other.
Doable.
Now, when you start creating that distance to those other 2 targets, maybe then you need to start thinking, okay, do I need to take the headshot? Do I take the center mass shot? It's a good thing to train and train your brain to start making those decisions in a time is life situation, because you're going to have to.
Yeah. But when we first ran that drill, it irked me a little bit thinking about carrying this shield. And it really did, because I thought, my God, what am I going to do if I get in that situation? And I'm going to have to do a reload in there.
Yeah.
You know? And there's just no way around it. And hopefully, you know, if you took out the main attacker, then maybe the rest would just kill their will to fight. But you don't know that. You don't know what they got. You don't know if they got guns, knives, you know, whatever. You don't know how it's going to go down. And in that situation, I would want a 19. Okay? Or 26 or whatever. And I would say I'd really prefer to have a 19 over anything else.
Oh, yeah.
Just because
Absolutely.
of rounds. But that's because, you know, I can take 5 shots apiece on them. You know, because I got 16 in there.
Yeah.
So, and you could have more than 3 attackers. You don't know. I mean,
You don't know what as Brandon LaBeouf says. You don't know what scenario chooses you.
that's
You
right.
don't choose the scenario;
Yeah,
it chooses you.
You never do. And if you're carrying a gun and you're doing it right, we're not talking about doing it like what's the guy that shot Trayvon Martin? What was his name?
Oh,
He was white, but he was actually Mexican.
I can't remember his name. Yeah, he had like the whitest name ever.
Yeah,
I can't remember his name. Yeah.
He was half at whatever. But where he messed up is he went and he shouldn't approach that guy. He's not a cop. You know, he had no business approaching that guy. You shouldn't go around looking for a bad situation. And God forbid, you know, a bad situation ever approaches us. But if it does, you want to be ready. And when you talk about being ready, that's where this one wins over this one. Now, I guess if I didn't shoot this gun well, I would not have an itch for it. But because I do, you know, I'm comfortable carrying this gun. But this is as small as I will go. And when I do, I carry 2 backup mags, if that tells you anything. Now, statistics say if you have 7 rounds in your gun, you're not going to reload in a gunfight. But, you know, like I said, what if there's multiple attackers? You got just enough in this. So, I don't know. That's up to you. Do you feel, you know, I'm asking, you know, the viewer, how do you feel about that? How do you feel about carrying a gun that small? If you're okay with that, and then, or even if you're okay with a 6-shot revolver, which, gosh, how many people carry, you know, 5, is it 5? Is it standard 38? Is it 5 or 6?
I think it's 5 or 6.
Okay.
Yeah, it's no more than 6.
So many people carry those for years and still do, and they're comfortable with that. And you talk about doing a reload on that is way slower
Yeah.
than reloading that gun.
Nightmare.
So, you know, it's whatever you're comfortable with. But like we said in the last video, whatever you carry with consistency, carry with, you know, high number or high percentage carry. We can't carry every day because of, you know, the nature of our jobs, and a lot of you are the same way because we live in a protectionist society where, you know, you don't need a gun at a hospital.
Yep.
You don't need a gun at, you know, at a church. You don't need a gun at, you know, a school.
Airport, school.
Yeah, courthouse, whatever. And I get it. You know, I understand why there's certain laws in place. But, you know, if somebody tells me, if I'm gonna put it this way, if a politician tells me I don't need a gun, that's when I'm getting a gun.
You need the gun.
And that's why gun sales have gone up so much since Obama's been in there.
Yeah, Obama
He is-
sold more guns than
Smith
anybody.
and Wesson and Glock freaking love Barack Obama.
Yeah.
They
They sold a lot of guns
sure
for
have,
him.
and
He has
Feinstein.
sold a lot of guns for him.
But whatever you do, carry with a high percentage. This is my EDC, and this is my niche for the Shield. I felt like it was important for y'all to see the gun that I carry and why I carry it when I do. But, like I said, in situations where you're facing multiple attackers, if there's a bunch of them, you might all just run.
Yeah.
Because you got to think, you know, what are you going to be able to do with that?
Yeah.
You don't know if you're going to be able to take. You don't know what you're facing. You don't know if you're going to be able to take the fight out of them by dropping one of them. You might. Might not. Then you might just use that thing as a break. You may be pistol whipping folks. So that's a bad situation. That's something you don't ever want to be in.
It's a bad day for sure.
Yeah, we were talking about knives earlier, and I don't know if I mentioned it in the other video, but I was talking about I don't carry a tactical blade, and this is about as tactical as a blade I carry. To me, that's a big blade. This is a HK Axis. Okay, this is Benchmade. It's made by Benchmade. It's branded with HK. It's D2 steel. That's a pretty big blade for me. If I had to get in a knife fight, I would probably rather have this one on me just because it's so large. God, oh, you don't ever want to get in a knife fight. That freaking sucks. If somebody comes at you with a knife and you have a gun, you don't have to fight fair. Go ahead and put them down.
Put them down.
But anyways, that's like I said, that's a big part of my EDC. I wanted to show y'all that, and I wanted just to give y'all something else to think about. Give you another option. If you got a 19 but you don't ever carry it because it's too big, too bulky, uncomfortable, blah blah blah, whatever, get you a smaller gun. No shame in that, man. Or girl, whatever.
Folks.
Yeah. Do what you got to do. My girlfriend, I didn't tell you this, she's got a 19 and she's got a 43. And she's always carrying one of them. Sometimes she's got both. Sometimes she's got a 19 off body and then 43, you know, at her 5 o'clock. So, I mean, she's always got something,
ready.
and it makes me feel good. You know, it makes me feel better. So, anyways, just whatever you carry often. That's what we preach.
Yeah, and like he said, just to kind of touch on that, you know, get what you're comfortable with, and carry it every single day.
So if you're going to carry a single stack, okay, carry multiple mags, okay, carry it. If it's going to get a thin gun, you might as well get thin Kydex, okay, because it defeats the purpose if you don't. So get Kydex. Make sure it's quality. You may want to go with loops instead of clips, okay. I like saying clips. If you're going to carry an extended mag, either glue it on or use either glue the sleeve on or take it off, and really think about what you're sacrificing. Okay, everything's a give and take.
Yep.
Everything's a give and take. So if you're gonna feel this, if you feel like this is a niche you need filled, go ahead, but make sure you're okay with that, and make sure you train with it. And you've done some scenario drills, you've done some real world stuff, and for God's sakes, put night sights on your guns. Put night sights on them.
Put night sights on them. Something with a good ledge where you can run it one handed.
That's right. Rack it off your belt. We need to do more of that in our practice.
We do. We need to do more of that.
Yeah. And speaking of those targets earlier, we're gonna do a do-it-yourself target stand video on the cheap.
Yeah, I built some really cheap.
And they are fantastic. It's really made our range days a lot easier because we shoot a lot of rounds. For us, 200 rounds every other week is a lot. So.
And they break down. Like, you can break them down, put them in the back of the truck, take them places.
And they're light.
Yeah, they're lightweight.
For PVC. So.
Anything else, man?
That's it, brother.
All right, guys. Appreciate y'all watching. You know the whole drill. I'll have links in the description box below to our Instagram pages. We both post a lot of photos on there, and come over and give us a follow. Also, we're on Facebook, AKM Tactical. I'll put the link in the description box below on that. Give us a like on that. We want your input. We want to know what you think. I always want your input. So please, if you have questions, if you have comments, if you want to tell us we're stupid, we don't know what we're talking about, put it in the comments box below. We'll talk about it.
We're open for discussion.
We will discuss things with you because everybody has different feelings about everything. So let us know what you think. Hit that like button, the thumbs up, share the videos. We appreciate y'all watching, and y'all be safe.